Part on noun clause, which we have already prepared, dealt with the noun clause related to statements. When the noun clause relates to statements, that always begins with that. Without that, we use that in the case of turning statements into noun clause. For instance, sometimes we don't use that and we think that it is a noun clause which is wrong. Pansa, he will win the election is certain is a wrong sentence because he will win the election is a complete independent clause and independent clause cannot be added with is certain. But when we put that before the sentence that he will win the election, then it becomes a noun clause. And noun clause is a dependent clause. And a dependent clause is followed by main clause. Is certain is main clause. And that he will win the election is a dependent clause. In this way, it has become a grammatically acceptable and correct sentence. So we should take care of this thing that we must not consider a sentence which is independent and if we try to link it with some other sentence, then it is not possible unless it is a dependent clause which is formed by adding that in the case of statements. But today we are going to deal with noun clause related to questions. There are two types of question. The question which begin with helping verb or modals which are called yes-no type questions. Their answer always has to be given by saying yes or no. But there are the second type of question which are called WH question. In that case, WH word has to be put at the beginning. But first we are discussing the questions related to yes-no type. In this type of question, when we convert this question into a noun clause, we have to use whether. This whether is placed before in the beginning to convert the question into a noun clause. And then the remaining sentence turns into a simple sentence. That is, helping verb is used before the subject, after the subject, not before the subject as generally happens in yes-no type questions. While whether this kind of clause which relates to yes-no type question also serves all the five functions which are generally performed by noun. First sentence is whether he will come is not certain. In this sentence, whether he will come is a noun clause acting as subject of the sentence. Here we can use whether, not if. When the subject is to be framed in the case of yes-no type question, whether is only whether is used, if is not allowed. Though in the case of object, sometimes if is also used. Now, whether he will come is a noun clause as a subject and is not certain is the main clause. Thus, this is a complete complex sentence containing one dependent clause and the other independent clause. So, noun clause, when it is used, it helps form a complex sentence. In the same manner, noun clause can be used as object also. The second sentence, I do not know whether he will come or not. In this case, no is a transitive verb. Whether he will come or not is its object in the form of a noun clause. Here we can say, I do not know him. Him is an object, but when we are discussing noun clause, then noun clause as an object has been used. Whether he will come or not is just an object in the form of a noun clause, the object of the verb no. The third function of the noun clause is that it acts as a complement to the subject. The third sentence explicates it or elucidates it. You can see the issue is. The issue is now explained or complemented through the noun clause. whether he will contest the election or not, is explained or complete is a noun clause which is used as a complement to the subject, the issue. So this is the third function of a noun clause when it is used as a complement to the subject. And the fourth function is that sometimes it is used in opposition to the subject. In opposition means it explains the subjects along with the subject itself. It is not separated by using linking verb. In the third sentence, we have separated the subject and complementary noun clause by using is. But in the fourth sentence, the issue is explained simultaneously by using the noun clause. Whether he will contest the election or not in this sentence is in opposition to the subject, the issue, and is still undecided is the main clause. So this is the fourth function of the noun clause. And then it also acts as a complement to adjective. In the fifth sentence, sure is an adjective. And what is sure? Its meaning is being complemented, its meaning is being explained through the noun clause, whether he will participate in the meeting. So this noun clause is a complement to the adjective sure. And the sixth function is that sometimes it also acts as a complement to preposition. In the sixth sentence, his joining of our party depends upon whether his friend joins it or not. Whether his friend joins it or not is a complement to the preposition upon. In this way, these yes-no type questions have 6 types of noun clause, that is, noun clause function 6 different functions as noun clause. Now we will take up the next part of it, those questions which are related, which begin with WH words. How they also function as subject, as object, as subject complement, as in opposition to the subject, as well as complement to the adjective and complement to the preposition. Now through these sentences you will be able to understand what changes have to be used when WH questions are converted into noun clause. So yes, the yes-no type question. There is another type of question which begin with WH word. So how these questions which begin with WH word are converted into noun clause, this is to be discussed now. Generally, when they are in the question form, helping verb comes before the subject. As we say, how are you, yeah, how do you solve this question? So helping verbs generally come before the subject in WH question. But when they are changed into noun clause, this rule, they are changed into simple statement. And helping verb is either dropped or it comes after the subject. So this is to be kept in mind when noun clause beginning with WH word acts as subject, object or performs any other function, then helping verb will never come before the subject. In the first sentence, how he operates this machine is a noun clause as subject of the as subject. Is not clear to me is the main clause, and how he operates this machine is a subordinate clause acting as subject in the form of a noun clause. The second sentence tells us I do not know how he operates this machine. Know is a transitive verb, and how he operates this machine is a noun clause in the form of object to the transitive verb know. So we can see that in all these WH noun clauses we are using helping verb after the subject. Though in forming question helping verb is placed before the subject, but when they act as noun clause, then helping verb is never put before the subject. This is to be kept in mind in order to understand the real function of this noun clause. The third sentence tells us the question is in the sentence how he manages to get first rank every time is a noun clause as a complement to the subject, the question. The question is a subject and how he manages to get first rank every time complements the meaning of the question of the subject, the question. In the fourth sentence, the question how he manages to get first rank every time, how he manages to get first rank every time is in opposition to the subject, the question, and it is a subordinate clause, and the main clause is astonishes everyone. The question astonishes everyone is the main clause. How he manages to get first rank every time is in opposition to the subject, the question. In the fifth sentence, I am not sure. Sure is an adjective. And how he managed to get this lucrative post is a complement as a noun clause to the adjective sure. And in the sixth sentence, his success depends upon how much interest he takes in this project. How much interest he takes in the project is a noun clause as a complement to the preposition upon. So all these six functions which are performed by whether clause are also performed by WH clauses. So in case we bear in mind that these are subordinate clauses and they are always written in the form of statements, this knowledge of noun clauses can go a long way in enabling us to formulate correct sentences, because sometimes we fail to understand why, though the question or sentence is beginning with how, but helping verb is not being put before the subject. This kind of complexity remains always in the mind. But once you understand that noun clause, they may begin with WH words or with whether, they are always in the form of statement, and then this kind of mistake will not be made. So I have tried to explain three types of noun clauses. One, those belong to the subject. The second, those belong to the yes-no type question. And the third ones belong to the WH type question. And I hope you must have followed the three types of noun clauses clearly. And if this has helped you in achieving something new, in learning something new, so I would like you to express your liking for it, subscribe to it, and share it with others.